Fight fans, welcome back. Jon Jones is one of the most dominant, controversial, and talented fighters in mixed martial arts history. His career has been filled with record-breaking achievements, thrilling performances, and numerous controversies that have both elevated and tarnished his legacy. Whether he is considered the greatest fighter of all times or the most frustratingly wasted talent depends on how one views both his professional dominance and personal
Think you can choke me out?
I'm pretty sure I could.
You couldn't choke me out, my man.
All right, let's see it.
You can't choke me out, my man.
What's up, Bills Mafia? This is the UFC heavyweight champion here, John Bones Jones, and I want to wish you guys all the luck in the world in the AFC Championship against the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get it done. Bills Mafia all day.
This detailed exploration of his career will cover his rise, title reigns, rivalries, setbacks, and recent transition to heavyweight, offering a comprehensive look at one of combat sport's most fascinating figures. Born on July 19, 1987, in Rochester, New York, John Dwight Jones came from an athletic family. His father was a pastor, and his two brothers, Arthur and Chandler Jones, became professional football players in the NFL. Unlike his brothers, John pursued wrestling in high school and later completed at Iowa Central Community College, where he became a junior college wrestling champion. However, he soon transitioned to MMA, recognizing that his long limbs, athleticism, and wrestling base could make him a formidable fighter.
Parent Tactical Genesis. All in the face.
He began training in MMA and quickly turned professional in 2008, racking up several wins in regional promotions before being signed by the UFC just 4 months into his pro career. Jones made his UFC debut on August 9, 2008 at UFC 87, defeating Andre Guzmão via unanimous decision. His unpredictable striking, dynamic movement, and wrestling dominance made him a standout prospect. He followed up with an impressive win against Stephan Bonnar, showcasing his unorthodox style with spinning elbows and suplexes. Jones quickly gained momentum with victories over Jack O'Brien, Matt Hamill, Brandon Vera, and Vladimir Matyuchenko, demonstrating his dominance in the light heavyweight division. However, his only professional loss came in December 2009 against Matt Hamill due to a controversial disqualification for illegal elbows, a fight he was dominating before the stoppage. After a stunning win over Ryan Bader at UFC 126, Jones was offered a title fight against Shogun at UFC 128. Just 23 years old at the time, Jones was about to step into the spotlight in a way never seen before. On March 19, 2011, at UFC 128, Jones destroyed Shogun, winning by third-round technical knockout to become the youngest champion in UFC history. His reach, wrestling, and creativity overwhelmed the former Pride legend, and a new era began. Jones went on to dominate the UFC light heavyweight division like no one before him. His title defenses included victories over some of the best fighters in MMA history. In 2011 UFC 135, Jones submitted Quinton Rampage Jackson, the former champion, with a rare naked choke. In 2011 UFC 140, Lyoto Machida, Jones choked Machida unconscious in one of the most iconic finishes. In 2012 UFC 145, Rashad Evans, a heated rivalry, ended with Jones winning a 5-round decision. In 2012 UFC 152, Vitor Belfort, Jones survived a deep armbar before submitting Belfort. In 2013 UFC 159, Jones broke Sonnen's toe but dominated en route to a first-round technical knockout. In 2013 Alexander Gustafsson, Jones faced his toughest test, winning a close decision in a fight now considered one of the greatest of all time. In the year 2014 UFC 172, Glover Teixeira, a dominant decision win where Jones showcased dirty boxing and pressure. In 2015 UFC 182, Daniel Cormier, Jones outwrestled and outstruck his biggest rival to win in a unanimous decision. This 8th title defense streak solidified Jones as the greatest light heavyweight of all time. However, his troubles outside the cage soon caught up with him. Jones' personal life became his biggest enemy. In April 2015, he was arrested for a hit-and-run incident and stripped of his title. His return at UFC 197 in 2016 saw him win an interim belt, but he was soon suspended again for a failed drug test before UFC 200. His rivalry with Daniel Cormier reached a peak when Jones returned in 2017 at UFC 214, defeating Cormier via head kick knockout. However, Jones tested positive for an anabolic steroid and was stripped of his title again. This incident severely damaged his reputation, but his skills inside the octagon remained undeniable. Jones returned in 2018, reclaiming his title by defeating Alexander Gustafsson at UFC 232. He went on to defend his belt against Anthony Smith at UFC 235 in 2019. He won by unanimous decision. Thiago Santos, UFC 239 in 2019, narrowly won by a split decision. Then Dominic Reyes, UFC 247 in 2020, a controversial decision where many believed Reyes won. Jones then vacated the light heavyweight title in 2020, signaling a move to heavyweight. After 3 years away, Jones made his long-awaited heavyweight debut at UFC 285 on March 4, 2023 against Cyril Gane for the vacant UFC heavyweight championship. And despite doubts about his inactivity, Jones submitted Gane in just 2 minutes, proving he could dominate at heavyweight just as he did at light heavyweight. Jones' career is filled with unparalleled success inside the cage and numerous controversies outside of it. Statistically, he is one of the most dominant champions in UFC history. He has the longest unbeaten streak in UFC history. He has victories over multiple generations of top fighters. Has the most title defenses in light heavyweight history. All these achievements, however, his legacy remains complicated due to failed drug tests, suspensions, and legal issues. Whether he is considered the greatest of all time or simply the most talented fighter to ever compete is still debated.